This summer, the high school students at PBC went to the Dominican Republic with an organization called Mission of Hope. They work with Haitian refugees in Dominican communities, meeting physical needs like food, shelter, and medical aid. They also meet spiritual needs, like sharing the gospel and connecting people with local church communities.
26 of us flew into Santiago and worked with a local Haitian pastor named Pastor Robinson. For many of us, it was our first time on a plane or even out of the country. For many of us, seeing that level of poverty and living in it was very overwhelming and eye-opening. The language barrier was a challenge, and we're very thankful for our translators.
While we were there, we helped a 76-year-old Dominican woman rebuild her home. It was dilapidated and had major structural issues. She didn't have the means to rebuild it herself, so the local church had to step in and help. We took down the walls and roof and carried a lot of rocks and concrete so that new foundation could be laid and that a new structure could be built. It was exhausting and hot outside, but it was rewarding and satisfying seeing the lady at the end and how happy she was.
Each day we would go into the community in small groups and try and engage with the people who lived there. We were received very warmly by almost everyone we met. It was interesting to see how willing people were to talk to us, to invite us into their home, and to share their story with us. We used that time on the streets and in their homes to ask about the community that they were living in. After getting to know them, we would steer the conversation towards the gospel and share who Jesus was with them and invite them to the local churches.
We got to hang out with a lot of kids and play games with them. One day we had a huge kids club in a basketball court in the community. We played games and sports with them, and we were even able to share the gospel and share our testimonies with them. Pastor Robinson even brought food, and we were able to feed the entire camp. This mission trip to the Dominican Republic really opened my eyes and showed me what the real purpose of being a Christian was. It is true that faith doesn't require works, but it's also true that true faith should inspire works. Before the trip, I wasn't really trying to talk to others about Jesus, but talking with the locals, it really showed me that talking to others about Jesus isn't really that hard. As Christians, we should strive to see others come to Christ, even if that means doing something scary or difficult.
We were able to go to a service at Pastor Robinson's church. It was Haitian and in Creole, so it was really interesting to see the whole service in another language. Even though it was in a different language, we were able to engage them, and it was really encouraging to watch them serve. The worship service was 2.5 hours long. Yes, 2.5 hours long.
Some of the people had so little, especially the Haitians, having to migrate to a country where many of the people hated them. But still, they had no trouble smiling and laughing and playing around, even though they were in such a tough situation. In the past year, I've had trouble being grateful for the things I have and finding joy in hard situations. Even though God had given me so much, I was failing to see the blessings that He had given me. Over the course of the trip, God really used the things that I saw to change my perspective on life. I now try to be more grateful for the things that I have and joyful in any situation.
This trip caused my worldview to shift, even when it comes to the friendships in the youth group. Even after being cramped in a small sweaty room with them, carrying lots of concrete, carrying buckets of water and sand, being on a plane ride with them, having lots of messes, they're still my favorite people and the best I've been with. And I'm truly grateful for these friends and how we've grown together.
Thank you for giving to this team and for praying for the work that we're doing there. We're grateful for this opportunity, and we're excited to see the fruit of this for years to come.